Come back to the stage. You good? All right. Round two, RRS.
Okay, round two. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming again. My name is Dina Bolin, and let's get right to it. So we've covered a lot of information on types of permits, permit review, and emergency permitting. So let's move on to the fun part. How do we get those applications in? Or better yet, what is the course expected / preferred submission process? And that leads us to the regulatory request system, or the RRS. Not IRS, but RRS. Okay, so a brief history, the RRS actually went live in 2024, and from its inception, it has come a long way. I don't know if Jamie is here. He knows what we're talking about. But okay, so it's an all-in-one platform, and this is where you submit the pre-application interagency meeting request that was touched on briefly, and I'll talk about it more later. You have the jurisdictional determination request, that's where you submit it, the individual and general permit applications, no permit required or NPR requests, and yes, you can submit comments on public notice comments on this portal. And this is actually the landing page of the RRS. And if you are new to the USAID's regulatory program, this is where it has a wealth of information about permitting. So again, this is an all-in-one portal. Okay. Okay, so is it really modern and efficient? Is the RRS really efficient? Is the RRS really streamlined? Is it good with response times? Can I just get a raise of hands for those who have used it and you have submitted? Have we been good in responding to your submittal? So the turnaround time is actually 3 days. So we're trying to stick to that, depending on the queue that we have. Okay, so for those that were listed there, I just want to talk more about the JDs, the jurisdictional determination requests, and the no permit required requests. Now, you can now actually submit AJD and permit at the same time. Was that too loud? Yeah. And permit at the same time. The system will allow you to add a request to an existing RRS project. So an example is an HAD, and that's completed. And you now need to, okay. And you now need to submit a nationwide permit request. The system will allow you to do that. Another one is if you started with a pre-application meeting and now you want to submit a nationwide permit, the system will allow you to do that, okay? And the only thing is reference the DA permit number. Oh, another important thing is you need to, when you start your permit and you need to put in your location, after you lock in your location, you add a permit to that existing request, it will actually populate your location. So that's the good thing about that. It's already in our system, so that's another efficient way. For the no permit required, these are actually only for 404F exemptions and activity-based. So if you are, So these are activity-based. So if you think you have potential waters on your site, please reach out to the Corps. And the RRS actually will lead you to 3 different pathways. That is, if it's a valid NPR, or it will lead you to submit a pre-app, or a different type of permit. And the good thing about the RRS, it added a new feature, and it's called these are self-verification tools. And these self-verification tools are for the NPR and non-regulated activity. It actually will send off an instant written verification. So it'll come out, you'll get notified by email through the RRS, and it'll say, based on the information you provided, no permit is required, or permit is required. So those are the pathways that the NPR or the self-verification tools that the system will allow you to do. And that's actually a new feature. So really the goal is to submit a complete application. And before you are able to submit an application, or track your project, or get real-time status updates on your My Dashboard, you are to complete an online application. I'm sorry, you are to use the login.gov to create an account. Okay, and that it's actually pretty user-friendly as well. Okay, so here we are. Just gonna click back again. Okay, so back to online submittal. Switching to online submittal actually is, it cuts back, or it eliminates the email back and forth, with the project managers. And why? Because the data is already in our system. And going back to what Ken just said, it avoids those common application errors, right? Because everything that you're completing is a required information, and instead, it focuses on the project manager reviewing a complete application and getting those permits quickly out, okay? And I know that's what we want. And for the forms like the 6082, or the 4345 forms for standard permits, you do not need to complete this ahead of time or upload it, because these are all auto-generated. And I think that was discussed earlier as well. So no more paper applications, okay? And again, you don't need to complete it, download it, and then upload it again, because all the information that you are completing online are auto-generated. So when we get it on our end, you have the auto-generated forms like the 6082, 4345, right? Aquatic resources, the impacts, and then you have the supporting documentation that you can upload as well. Okay, so I think I've covered that. And now, okay, so just to give you an idea of the RRS dashboard submittal status flowchart, you've got, you're in the draft status. Don't forget to save your work. I always get that all the time. They'll say that they couldn't see their application that they were working on. So just don't forget to save your work. And you submit it, we acknowledge it, we assign it, and it's completed. Now, once you submit your application, you cannot make any modifications anymore on your application, okay? And once you lock in your location, you can't make changes to that anymore. So those two things you need to remember. Now, if you need to make changes on your application, you can do it through the RRS once you hit submit, as I've mentioned. But of course, you can, if you need to make changes, you can speak to your project manager and you can deal with that after, but not through the system. And up to the assigned status, you still have the option to withdraw your request. You can, this is a new, well, not so new feature, but you can add a user. If you're the applicant, you want to add your agent or vice versa, you can do that up to the assigned status, okay? Once you start working on your application, on the top right of your My Dashboard, click on that Manage Level Access and add add the user. But the user needs to have an account with the RRS. So before you can add that, user, they need to have an account with the RRS. Okay, so it's completed when on our side the project manager has finalized that project in ORM. That's when you show it's completed. And once we get it in our system, I at least try to acknowledge it. And acknowledge is, click on that magnifying glass and just get a quick view of your submittal, the summary. Then you'll see the change, a real-time status change on your My Dashboard. It'll say acknowledged. And then when it's assigned, you'll see the DA permit number pop up and the project manager. Okay, so it's a real-time status update. You'll also get email notification from RRS saying that your project has been assigned to Sergio Redondo, there's his contact information, and the core file number. So let's not forget the core file number. Support and resources. Okay. So on the support page of the RRS, there you go, it has instructional videos. If you're new to this portal, or if you're new to the USAID's regulatory program, they do offer instructional videos on how to navigate this portal, or if you want more permitting information before you actually complete an application, or if you need to know more information on how to enter those aquatic resources and impacts and project location, instructional videos are available. Now, I get it, entering those aquatic resources can be tedious, but it goes back to giving the project manager a lot of time to review your complete application and getting your permits out quickly. I feel you on entering those impacts and aquatic resources. Okay. And at this point of my presentation,
to start a new request, you'll need to enter your project name and indicate whether the Corps previously issued a file number for any part of your project area. Next, you'll need to identify the project location by selecting one of three options. Type in the address, use a map, or upload a geodatabase. If you select Type an address, you'll be asked to either provide the physical address for the project location or enter the coordinates. Note that a red asterisk indicates a required field. Once you input the information, the map will automatically generate a location point. Then, you'll need to enter your project area and the unit of measurement, along with any additional information you have before moving on. If you select Use a Map, the map screen will open. You can click on the magnifying glass icon in the upper right corner to search for a specific location or address. If you want to manually find your project location, use the plus and minus symbols to zoom in and out until you find your project area. To scroll or pan, first click on the map, then use your mouse scroll wheel or pan with the hand icon. Hover over the layers icon to see available base maps. Use the point feature to mark the location of your project. You can also use the polygon tool to mark the boundaries of your project area. Select the icon, then click on the map to set the starting point and the subsequent points around your project area. Complete the polygon by clicking the first point, double-clicking or selecting Finish from the pop-up menu. You can select the Map Use Tips for further guidance. Click the trash can icon to delete the information if you make a mistake. You can also select Finish, Cancel, or Remove All to delete the location data and start again. If you select Upload a File Geodatabase, you can drag and drop your file here, or click here to select the file from your computer's Finder window. Keep in mind the geodatabase must be compressed into a single zip file. You can reference the GDB upload template located here. It is critical to accurately input the location during the initial creation of the project. Your project's location determines the range of available requests within that specific geographical area. If an error is made in entering the project location, it will be necessary to delete the request and initiate a new one for your project. Once you enter your project's location details, click Next. You'll be prompted to select one of the following request types: a delineation or jurisdictional determination, permits, or pre-application project scoping. Note that the request types listed may vary based on your project's location. Then click Next. Review your information and confirm everything is correct before clicking Continue. Now you're ready to move forward with the rest of your permit application.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a sample video from the support page on how to enter location. So I hope that helped a little bit. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so the RRS is really a work in progress, okay? I'm so glad that the RRS team are still adding new features to better serve you, right? The consultants, agents, applicants, the public. So if you have any feedback, if you have any complaints, if there's a bug, feel free to send your questions and your feedback to the RRS team. The feature that I mentioned earlier, where you can add a user to the request, that actually came from a feedback from consultants. So don't be shy. If you have any ideas to make it better, email the team and you know, they'll get in touch with you. We've done several test applications in RRS, right? So I can actually answer some questions if you have. Not now, but when you're completing your applications, I can answer a few. But with all the new features that they have, please reach out to the RRS team. And thank you for all those who have been submitting through this system. We really do appreciate it. So some helpful information. Before you start your request, have all your information ready, because you can, on your draft status, remember, you can always stop, return back to it, and on your My Dashboard, you can edit your request. But after submittal, can you make changes? No, you can't, right? For user, okay, for the login.gov, unfortunately, you do need to create an account with login.gov, but there is no guest option. We've gotten questions about that. There's no guest option, to submit an application. The limit for the attachment is 100. Not over 500, you can actually request a link from our project managers or, from us, and we'll send you the link to the DoD Safe app if it's over 500. And again, you have the option to add another user and manage their access level to read or write, if they need to sign the application. So there you go. And effective May 1, we are expecting all submissions to go through this system. So no more sending to, if possible, no more sending to RG Info or the submittal mailbox. It has to go through the RRS. We just think it's faster that way. Okay, and here you go. That's the login.gov. Okay, so Sergio talked about this, but I just want to talk about this more. The interagency meeting request. So I know that you are familiar, the San Francisco District, we do offer monthly interagency meetings, right? And we have the pre-application meetings in RRS. So if you are requesting for an interagency meeting, just state that in the comments field. And you actually need to, for the interagency meeting, you have to submit a project summary, and you can find instructions on on the information that are needed there on our interagency meeting webpage of the San Francisco District. Brian Matsumoto, who is one of our senior project managers, he does the scheduling. He'll coordinate with the project team and your assigned project manager. And once he deems the submission complete, meaning the required information for the project summaries there, then he'll continue on until you receive your spot for the interagency meeting and the agenda. And for the 401 pre-filing meeting request to the Water Board, I just want to thank the Water Board for their project notifications, but we do request the project team to please ensure that you send the project materials to RRS using the pre-application meeting option as well. In that way, we can assign a project manager and reference a DA permit number, because often the Water Board would send a project notification and we have no idea, is this an existing project? Is this a new project? So it would help if you send us the project materials through the RRS. So everything goes through the RRS. And again, don't forget to visit the monthly interagency webpage of the Corps. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Questions for Dina? Yeah.
No questions? Oh, what? Two? Oh.
Yeah, you want to come up first and then.
Hi, Dina. I just had a
Hi.
quick question about.
I have a question too.
Sorry.
All the project managers.
I know.
I have a quick question about your.
Isabella. One of the PMs.
I work for the Corps. I could ask Dina this on my own time, but your last little thingy where you were talking about the 401 pre-filing meeting and everything. Did you just mean that the applicants should write in the RRS whether or not they've had a pre-filing meeting with the Water Board? Like they should be submitting that information?
So here's the scenario. So I'll get an email from the Water Board saying they received this application for a pre-filing meeting request, right? That's the Water Board sending us the email. And I'll look at it and I'll be thinking, okay, is this an existing project or is this a new project? So we do request the project team, if you send your project materials to the Water Board for a pre-filing meeting request, and it's a new project, let us know. Send it to the RS as a pre-app, request. In that way, we can assign a project manager and a core DA number, if it's new or if it's an existing DA number. Yeah, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go and then on that side.
Hello. I'm curious about the post-construction report submittal. What I've found is once your application is deemed complete, it's hard to add. So I've been submitting those via email. Is that appropriate?
That's a good question, actually. That's a good question. Okay, so I've watched other videos from the from headquarters, right? I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, for the PMs, that is there an option in ORM to communicate with the project team or the applicant or the agent if you need additional information? So there you go. Or, so that's one, or you can still, with reports, post-construction reports, right? You can use the RG Info email address until we say stop and then, use the RS portal.
Okay, that's what I've been doing, just sending an email.
Yes, yes.
Hi, this is a pretty technical question, and I don't know if it's more for you or for the group, but I'm just
try.
going to pose it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I work with like large landscape scale projects in and around San Francisco Bay, and I have a lot of wetlands in that are included in my wetland map, and I've had some issues with the template, like the geodatabase template that has been provided, and I was wondering, like, do I have to use that template to import, like, because I want to be able to auto-generate like all of my wetlands like all at once, and then use that like for the impacts analysis as well. Do I need to use the template, or like can I generate my own, and what are the guidelines on that? And like I said, that might be more of a GIS like technical question for the group. I don't know.
Well, to be honest, unless Will knows, but I will get back to you on that. Can I get your name?
Sure. My name is Nick Torres.
Okay. I have
With
your
Ducks
name on the-
Unlimited.
Okay. I will get back to you, Nick. I don't want to give you a, I don't know answer, but really it's an I don't know answer. I want to make sure and ask the team, the RS team.
Okay.
So I'll get
and
back
and
to
I
you
can
on that
follow
one.
up with an email to you to
Yes.
just to make it easy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Hi, I just had a quick question about the permissions to link users. It seemed on that flow chart you showed earlier, it was later in the process. And one of the challenges we've encountered with RRS is, say I'm the point and I'm trying to submit something and then I'm out of office, or a colleague is out of office, or we want to collaborate from the starting point. Is that something that the current functionality allows?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 100%, because I did a test submittal. You can add a user after you lock your project location, and when you're in that, when you're completing the permit information section, it does give you on the top right, you'll see your My Dashboard, it does give you an option to add a user to your request, even early in that stage of your application.
Okay, sounds good. And that's that new update you were referring
Yes,
to?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Again, that user that you're adding has to have an account in login.gov. Okay.
Hi, this is Alex Lopez from the State Water Boards.
Hello.
Hi, I'm glad you brought up, the notification emails that we set out, and told us that it's kind of hard for you to know when the project is a brand new project, or if the application's
Yes.
already been received on
Yes.
your end. So first off, to clarify, did you mean just our pre-filing meeting request emails, or is it also our notice of new application emails as well?
I am talking about your pre-filing meeting requests. And the second one that you mentioned, the notification,
Oh, yeah, because we send out notices of a new application once we receive them, typically.
both,
Both?
yes,
Okay.
both, both.
Okay, cool. Second, is there anything that you wish you could see from the board's end that might improve these communications at all?
Honestly, just those.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I'll tell you why, okay? So before the RRS and you send us those project notifications, we search in our database, okay, is there a permit number, you know, associated to this? So we look at the location, we look at the project name, we look at any information we can match in our system. So yes, I'm talking about both.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, thank you. Is there going to be a feature in the future to be able to correct the location if you've mistyped it, or do you have to go through an entire new application and start all over from scratch, unless you want to contact a project manager? Because sometimes that takes a few days, and
Correct.
sometimes we have to get these in.
Correct. I've seen their future features that they're going to put out. Not one of them, but I can ask.
Okay.
I can ask the RS
Do you
team.
know the reason why the location is unchangeable once it's locked in, as you say?
Will, do you?
Yes, that was what they decided, you know, so.
Yeah.
So I will say that once you submit it and it's been assigned, if you need to revise your project location, you can do that with the project managers. So once we receive your application or your JD request, and we see that, oh, there was a mistake made, we can always revise and update the location. So it's not set on just that one.
Right, but it seems like if the location determines what questions is answered, depending on what location it is. Sometimes I've been given coordinates and didn't check them on a map before I put them in, and realized it was for a completely different project. So, I mean, it might have been in a different zone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just,
You may just want to use the map feature.
yeah, it might be.
Okay.
So yeah, we can always do a duet. So yeah, I mean, we have a limited amount. The RRS is a national rollout, so we have, we can provide input, we can put requests in, but at the end of the day, it's the priorities of DC. That's kind of like, this is what we want to implement in the timelines we want to implement. But we do want to stress, like, yeah, it happens. You put in the wrong coordinates, put in the wrong, features. Those questions you answer, like, you're not set in stone. You're not obligated to run with those things to the end of the process, right? So once you get a core file number, you can email, the PM that's assigned to. You can email Dina. You can email me or Katarina, and it is, editing those features in our database is literally a 2-minute job. So it is a very low lift for us to correct those. So just don't worry too much about that. And we get that sometimes. I do apologize. I was doing a different meeting, so I don't know if I'm stepping on some toes. But RRS is a pathway to get to a PM, to get a project number, to get started with the process, right? So don't feel obligated that this thing has to be perfect and polished up. Right? Get the best information you can, get it to us, and then we'll refine that process later on. So don't belabor the system too much. Yes. Over.
And actually, I do want to add that when you are in that part, locking in your project location, I think this will answer your question too. When you're in the system, and let's say you're here in California and you lock a project location, but it's in a different district, right? So it will lead you to a different usage district. So that's important to lock in that location. But again, just in the system, if you need to make changes, you can always reach out to your project manager. Any more questions? Thank you, though. Thank you for the questions.
No more questions for Dina? All right, thank you, Dina.
Thank you.